Guys, we're gonna do the second installment of the Testament of Solomon here. And since this camera times out, a better camera than I had, I couldn't do this in one sitting. It timed out, and I only got so much capacity in the memory card. So what I'm gonna do to finish this up, might take another video, but what I'm gonna decide to do is continue where I left off in the last video and start in the chapter that I was just finishing, and then go from there, and then it'll maybe refresh you from the last video. So here goes. I'm going to go ahead and read this, and this is from the other video, but I'll continue into the rest of it here. Okay, and I ordered Beelzebul to stand before me again, and I sat him beside me, and I thought in fit to ask him, "Why are you the only ruler of the demons?" He said to me, "Because I am the only one of the heavenly angels left remaining. For I was a leading angel called Beelzebul, and with me was a second impious one from God cut off. And now confined here he rules my folk that are imprisoned in Tartarus. He gets his food from the Red Sea, and in his own time will come to triumph." And I said to him, "What are your functions?" And he said to me, I too destroy through tyrants, and I cause demons to be worshipped among men, and excite holy priests who have been chosen by God to lust. And I bring about jealousies in cities and murders. I bring on wars. And I said to him, "Bring me the one that you mentioned, who feeds in the Red Sea." But I said, "I will not bring up anyone to you myself, but the one who is called Ephippas shall come, who will bind him and bring him from the depth." And I said to him, "Tell me how he comes to be in the depth of the Red Sea, and what his name is." He said, "Do not ask me, you cannot learn it from me, for he himself will come to you, because I too am with you." I said to him, "Tell me, what star are you associated with?" He said, "It is called the evening star amongst men." I said, "Tell me, what angel are you inhibited by?" He said, "By the all-powerful God. He is called among the Hebrews Patik, that came from down on high, but he is the Emmanuel of the Greeks. And I am afraid of him and tremble before him. If anybody adjures me by Eloi, his great name of power. If anybody adjures me by Eloi, his great name of power, I disappear." When Solomon heard this, I commanded him to saw Theban marbles, special kind of marble, look it up. When he began to saw, all the demons shouted in a loud voice because of their king Beelzebul. Solomon questioned him, saying, "If you want to obtain your release, tell me about heavenly things." And Beelzebul said, "Listen, O king, if you burn gum, incense, and sea bulbs, nard and saffron, and light 7 lamps in an earthquake, you will make your house secure. But that is, if you are pure. You light them in the early morning at sunlight, you will see the heavenly serpents wind along and draw the chariot of the sun." So that's some stories you see, like, about the solar serpent, I guess. But anyway, when Solomon heard this, I rebuked him and said, "Be quiet and saw the marbles like I told you to." So, and here's a little piece that I skipped out here. I think it's in the chapter. It says chapters Roman numeral V11 and chapter XV11 III. Excuse me. All follow the same pattern. Demons are mentioned, questioned as to their names and functions by the angel by whom is inhibited, and finally assigned to work in the temple. The contents are summarized. Then this Roman numeral VII. Lixtatrex, who carries his face high in the air, but the rest of his body winding like a snail. He raises a violent dust storm to frighten Solomon. He is busiest in summer, causing chaos and fires and Mediterranean fever, and is inhibited by the angel Azazel. He is ordered to throw stones to the craftsmen at the top of the temple. Okay, and now it continues. 7 intertwined comely demons, the 7 elements, world rulers of darkness, guile, strife, clotho, storm, error, power, and worst. The last one foretells Solomon succumbing to love. They are set to dig the foundations of the temple. And a headless demon named Murder, seeing through his breast, continually severing and devouring men's heads, inhibited by the fiery lightning. For the moment he is ordered to remain with Beelzebul. A demon like a great dog called Rod, mastering men's minds through the throat and destroying them, inhibited by Brathis. He offers to show Solomon's servant a green stone in a mountain, and Solomon agrees. When he brings it to Solomon, decrees that he and the headless demon Murder should be bound to carry the stone around like a lamp day and night to the craftsmen at work. Later, they too are set to work cutting marble. An Arabian demon, like a lion rampant, called Lion Bearer. He has a legion of demons subordinate to him, and when Solomon asks by whom he is inhibited, replies, by the name of him who endured after many sufferings at the hands of men, whose name is Emmanuel, who even now has chained us and will come to plunge us from a cliff under water. Solomon orders the legion to carry wood and the demon to saw up fine with his nails to feed the furnace. Ordered him to saw wood with his nails to feed the furnace. A 3-headed serpent called Serpent's Crest, inhibited by the place of the skull, Golgotha. For there the angel of the great council foreordained that I should suffer, and now openly he will dwell upon the cross. He tells Solomon there is much gold hidden in the foundation of the temple. Solomon finds this and orders him to make bricks. These are starting to look like these things from Clash of the Titans, multiple-headed serpents, and stuff like that. But a female demon with long bedeviled hair called, how do you pronounce this? Obyzuth. 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 Attacking women and children, inhibited by the angel Raphael, whose name written on a scrap of paper is a protection against her for women in childbirth. So, in other words, attacks babies before their birth and stuff. Solomon orders her to be bound by the hair and hung up in front of the temple, that the children of Israel can see her and glorify God. A demon with the face and feet of a man and the limbs of a serpent, with wings on its back, called Winged Serpent, who causes abortions, pregnancy among causes abortions in pregnancy among beautiful women. Other words, causes miscarriages. Yeah. He threatens Solomon and He threatens Solomon and burns up with his breath the forests of Lebanon, the timber destined for the temple, so that he turned the timber into tinder. Solomon invokes the angel who inhibits him, Bazazath, and condemns him to saw marbles. A 3-headed female demon called Inepsigus, another Clash of the Titans looking thing there, who is also called by countless names. She has connections with the moon and can be brought down by enchantment. Inhibited by Rathaniel, she prophesies to Solomon the division of his kingdom and the destruction of the temple, when the jars in which he has enclosed the demons will be broken and they will be dispersed all over the world again. So in other words, they had demons sealed up in jars. Somebody breaks them. Well, whether Rome, the Romans later invade and all that, things get plundered, imagine, no gold here. What is this? Bust the jars and release the demons. And shoot, even the future invaders believed in certain spirits that they invoked, and they too can be releasing these demons, to do stuff. But anyway, okay, before losing jibber jabbing and losing my place, yeah, she prophesies that these demons in the jars will be broken and they will be dispersed all over the world again, until the Son of God shall be stretched on a tree. So these demons will be released by breaking these jars, and these demons will be causing trouble up until Christ comes and dies on the cross. So, okay, let me, before I lose my place again. When the jars are enclosed, the demons will be broken and will be dispersed all over the world again, until the Son of God should be stretched on a tree. He whose number is 644, Emmanuel, Solomon does not believe her until his death, when he writes the testament to warn the children of Israel about the demons. He orders her to be fettered with unbreakable bonds. A demon like a horse in front. Okay, let's try this again. A demon like a horse in front and a fish behind. A demon that looks like a horse from a front but has a fish's ass? Okay. A demon like a horse in front and a fish behind. What do you call that? Instead of a mermaid, a merhorse? Damn bug landing on my book. Okay. A demon with a horse in front and a fish behind, living in the sea and causing shipwrecks. I'm still getting a mental picture of that, but yeah, when you study the things about the Nephilim, there were other even lost scriptures that were fragmented, like in other kind of books, where all these stories where you had these hybrid creatures and stuff, that reading between the lines, you can imagine what the hell kind of Clash of the Titans looking, and things that could have been running around. But anyway, a demon like a horse in front and a fish behind in the sea, and causing shipwrecks, who also transforms himself into a man, calling himself Sinopagus, inhibited by how do we spell this angel? I-A-M-E-F. Imeth? Inhibited by Imeth. He is beginning to faint without water, so Solomon puts him in a jar with 10 measures of seawater, smears the mouth with asphalt, pitch, and towel, seals it with the ring, and orders it to be stored in a temple. So he ends up, Mr. Horse's body, fish's ass, goes into a jar with the rest of the collection, until eventually the temple gets raided and destroyed, and the jars get smashed, and they cause trouble until Christ's crucifixion and all that. But okay, an anonymous, lavish spirit of a giant slaughtered in the time of the giants, who lives in tombs and causes men to become demoniacs, inhibited by the Savior that is to descend. He is confined with the rest. So is that guy, that possessed dude that was running around practically naked, possessed by all these demons, that in your King James Bible, you guys, probably the minute I read that, you can see right away, and this guy happened to have been running around the caves and all that too. But okay, now the 36 elements: man-shaped, bull-shaped, bird-faced, animal-faced, sphinx-faced, serpent-shaped. Most of them cause physical troubles, and often charms and remedies are given for these. They are set to draw water. And I, Solomon, was honored by all men under heaven. I was building the temple of God, and my kingdom was prospering. All the kings used All the kings used to come to me to see the temple of God which I was building, and they used to bring me gold and silver, and offer me bronze and iron and lead and timber for the construction of the temple. Among them also came Sheba, queen of the south, who was an enchantress of great skill, and she did obeisance to me. Oh, I'm sure she did. And behold, an aged man of one of the... Okay. All right. And behold, an aged man, one of the craftsmen, threw himself down before me, saying, King Solomon, son of David, have pity on my old age. And I said to him, Tell me, old man, what is it you want? He said, I appeal to you, O king. I am an only son, and every day... Okay, well, I meant, I have an only son, and every day he makes some kind of attack on me. For he hits me in the face and on my head and threatens to murder me. This is why I have come to you, so that you may avenge me. So in my older videos, I have some older videos, like something like 5-6 years ago, when I first read this and I was wearing a white shirt and my hair was all not tied up in my old home. And I read this about the son abusing his father in a separate video, so if you want to check that out, you can. It's my older videos. The only reason I don't delete them is because these videos are remakes right now of that stuff. Time to be updated, but I don't know. I like my old videos for some reason sometimes. But okay, when I heard this, I gave orders that the son should be brought to me. When he came, I said to him, Is this the truth about you? And he said, O king, I must have been out of my mind to frighten my father in this way. I have. Be merciful on me, O king, for such irregular behavior makes a sorry story. So that when I, Solomon, heard the young man, I urged the old man to think it over, but he was unwilling, and he said he should be put to death. So anyway, I guess just like the guy that beats his wife, they'll play that card too. And I guess they figured that the son was just playing that card and being nice, and then as soon as he goes home, he'll beat up his father again, I guess. And when I saw that the demon Ornias was laughing, I was very angry at his laughing in my presence, and I put the other aside and ordered Ornias to come. And I said to him, Accursed one, how dare you laugh at me? He said, I appeal to you, O king. It was not because of you that I laughed, but because of the unfortunate old man and the wretched youth, his son. For in 3 days he will be dead, and behold, the old man wants to put him to a painful death. And I said, Is this really so? The demon said, Yes, O king. And I ordered the demon to stand aside, and the old man and his son to come. And I ordered them to become friends. And I said to the old man, In 3 days bring your son to me here. They did obedience to me and departed. And I gave orders that Ornias should be brought to me again. And I said to him, Tell me how you know this, that in 3 days the young man will be dead. And he said, dang wind, he said, We demons mount upon the vault of heaven and fly amid the stars. And we hear the decrees that come forth from God and that relate to the lives of men. That we go, and whether by force or influence, or by fire, or by sword, or by mishap, we disguise ourselves and destroy. And I asked him, Tell me, how is it that you demons are able to go up into heaven? He said to me, Whatever is done in perfection in heaven also is upon earth. For the rulers and authorities and the powers fly above and are thought worthy entrance to heaven. But we demons get exhausted, for we have no foothold for ascending or resting, and we fall away like leaves from trees. And men see this and think stars are falling from heaven. It is not so, O king. We fall because of our weakness. Because we have no support from any quarter, we fall down like lightnings upon earth, and burn up cities and set fields on fire. But the stars of heaven are secure in the vault of heaven. When I, Solomon, heard this, I ordered the demon to be kept under guard for 5 days. And after 5 days, were after 5 days were summoned, I summoned the old man, and he was unwillingly. Uh, after 5 days and after 5 days were over, I summoned the old man, and he was unwilling to come. For he came, and I saw he was broken and miserable. And I said to him, "Where is your son, old man?" He said, "I am now childless, O king, and I without hope. Keep watch over my son's tomb." And I, Solomon, heard this and knew that had been told to me by the demon was true. I glorified the God of heaven and earth. And Sheba, the queen of the south, was astonished as she saw the temple I was building, and she gave 10,000 shekels of bronze. She went into the temple and saw the altar and the cherubim and the seraphim overshadowing the mercy seat, and the 200 precious stones and lamps flashing different colors, lamps of emerald, hyacinth stones, and sapphire. And she saw the vessel was silver and bronze of gold, and the bases of the pillars entwined with bronze wrought like chains. She saw also the brazen sea and its base, and 36 bulls, and they were all working in the temple of God for the wage of one talent, except for the demons. See how dang, this camera is still going 21 minutes. Now Artaxerxes, king of the Arabians, sent a letter which ran as follows: Artaxerxes, king of the Arabians, to King Solomon, greeting. Behold, we have heard of the wisdom that had been given to you, and that the man you are, understanding had been given to you from the Lord in respect of the spirits of the air and the earth and under the earth. There is a spirit in Arabia, for at dawn he comes like a wind which blows until the third hour, and its blast is terrible. So he causes some really wicked sandstorms, and it kills men and cattle. So in other words, it's like a sandblaster. You know what a sandblaster could probably do? You ever hear on television these documentaries what sandstorms can actually do to people? But okay. So at dawn comes like a wind which blows until the third hour, a blast is terrible and kills men and cattle, and nothing that breathes can live before the demon. I beg you, therefore, since the spirit is like a wind, to devise something wise in accordance with your wisdom that has been given to you by the Lord your God, and deign to send a man able to arrest it. So they want that demon to be arrested. And behold, we will be yours, King Solomon. Both I and all my people and all my land, even all of Arabia, will be at peace if you can bring about the deliverance for us. Therefore, we beg you, do not ignore our supplication and become our Lord for all time forever. May my Lord fare well always, continually. I, Solomon, I have